Hi all, so this is going to be the first episode of a new series I plan on doing on my channel, which I think will be released every other Monday, which is called Danganronpa Deep Dive. It's basically where I will do more of like an analytical approach on stuff and talk about things in the Danganronpa universe, whether they be the Despairs or Future Foundation, to Celestia Ludenberg's motive, to the psychology of Nagito Komaeda. It's basically stuff that I find interesting within Danganronpa and some information that I want to give to y'all. So this first episode, I decided to do the one thing that every single Danganronpa thing has in common, which is not Junko Enoshima nor Monokuma, but it is Hope's Peak Academy. These videos, in my opinion, will be somewhat similar to like Tiny Leaf's videos or Ari Zakamatsu's analysis videos, so like expect me to be more like in my Mahiru one where I kind of sounded just like I am a robot, if that makes sense, but I'll try and like keep my normal self. Also, sorry if the video cuts out weird ends or my voice sounds weird. I need to drink water. It's kind of like, yeah, my voice is like, yeah, I'm gonna like mess up some words now here and there, so anyways, let's just get on with this video. Section 1 is how do the elementary and junior school divisions function? We know very limited information on the elementary and junior school division of Hope's Peak, but what we do know is that they're versions of ultimates or super high school levels, or even if you really wanna, Cho Koko Kuno is the little ultimates for the elementary division and the super junior high school level for the junior school division. Also, unlike the high school where everybody has their own unique talents, the elementary school is based on what subject the students are good at, and presumably the junior division is like the high school division, except the junior division can allow similar ultimates in the same year, unlike the high school division where this does not happen. The only known members of these two divisions are Monika Toa, Kotoko Utsugi, Masaru Diamond, Nagisa Shingetsu, and Jataro Kimuri, whom belong to the elementary division, and Takaya Togami, the Mystery Club Maniacs, and the Tea Ceremony Club member who belong to the junior high school division. Unlike the high school division where the students must simply attend and practice their talents, it seems like the elementary division has to do all of the elementary school subjects, most likely just because of the law, and not that much is actually known about the junior school division, as to my memory it only makes a big appearance in the light novel Danganronpa Togami. The enrollment is also unknown, as there are not that many elementary school subjects, but from what we see in Ultra Despair Girls, the classes are quite large, so it is very possible that the elementary school division is where anybody can just join, or it's possible the steering committee also overlooks this division, but I find that highly unlikely, as they're the top dogs, if that makes sense. They wouldn't deal with the elementary school division. Anyways, let's get on to the next section. This is section 2, which is what are the uniform requirements? This section may seem a little odd, but from what we see, the uniforms do not seem to be held at a strict standard, which surprises me, as this is a prestigious Japanese high school where the best of the best go. It does seem, however, that the reserve course is not allowed to make adjustments to their uniforms, or if they are, it is only allowed for members of the student council. Just for a reminder, the female uniform is a brown skirt and brown blazer with a red bow and a white button-up shirt underneath, and the male's uniform is the same thing, but replace the skirt with pants and the bow with a tie. Now there are some exceptions to this rule, being Sayaka Mizuno, whom swapped out the brown skirt for a dark blue one, Toko Fukawa, who has a longer skirt than the standard uniform one, Celestia Ludenberg, who is wearing that outfit we see her wear in the game, Mondo Iwata, who is seemingly wearing a brown jacket similar to the one he wears in the game, Leon Kuwata, who is wearing the exact same outfit in the game just with an all-white t-shirt, Junko Enoshima, who's seen wearing a beige jacket over her top along with the quote-unquote Mukuro design we see in game. If that explains it, like, Mukuro is also wearing the school girl uniform, except she has taken off her jacket, and I think she wears gloves. Hifumi Yamada is not wearing his blazer and has the same tie he has in the game. Yasuhiro Hagakure is wearing different pants, which seem to be the ones we see in game. Makoto Naegi's blazer is open instead of being buttoned up. Chihiro Fujisaki is wearing the girl's uniform with a blue skirt, which Kazuichi Soda is wearing a yellow. He is not wearing a yellow jumpsuit. He's wearing a jumpsuit similar to the one he wears in his game, except instead of being yellow, it is blue. Nagito Komaeda wears a different shirt under his blazer. Teruteru Hanamura wears his iconic chef's uniform. Gundam Tanaka wears his scarf and a different shirt under his blazer. Sonya Nevermind has 2 undershirts. One is the normal white one, but she also has a tan/beige one over the white one. Ibuki Miyota has a black skirt with a chain, skeleton leg stockings, a long-sleeved white button-up shirt, and a pink tie. Nekomaru Nidai is wearing, I think, a tracksuit, a blue tracksuit, along with some traditional Japanese shoes, which are these, I believe, and I believe Hiyoko is also wearing them, or Hiyoko might be wearing these. Hiyoko Saionji in both pre-growth spurt and post-growth spurt is seen wearing a kimono. Specifically, I believe they're both Furisode kimonos, if I'm pronouncing that right. Before her growth spurt, it is yellow, and after the growth spurt, it is pink. Fuyuhiko Kazuryu is wearing like a nicer top. I think it's like a vest with something. I think it's a vest and bow tie and black pants. Peko Peko Yama is wearing the uniform, but she decided not to wear the blazer. Akane Awari is seen wearing the same outfit she wears in game. Ultimate Imposter disguised as Ryota Miturai and Ryota Miturai are wearing the boys' uniform, but with a green tie instead of the usual red one. Chiaki Nanami is wearing a brown jacket instead of the usual blazer. Ruruka Ando is wearing her iconic pink heels, and her bow is also green with strawberries at the ends. Seiko Kimura is wearing a black belt on her skirt as well as black gloves. Sanosuke Izuyoi is wearing exactly what he does in the other side of the anime, except he opens up his outfit to reveal the red tie. And although technically the same person as Junko Enoshima, Ryoko Otonashi is seen wearing a gray blazer and gray skirt with a red bow. Yasuke Matsuda is wearing sandals with gray pants, a white button-up shirt, and a gray tie with red markings. Yuto Kamishiro is wearing the boys' uniform, but for some reason he has the girl's bow on it instead of a tie. Santa Shikiba is wearing a white lab coat with a white shirt under it and tan/beige pants. The Madurai brothers are wearing a gray/light black suit instead of the school uniform, which I believe is supposed to replicate the reserve course uniform that we see, but I do not know. Aiko Umesawa is wearing a yellow jacket with ears instead of a blazer. Her bow is also thicker and pink. Asukase Hino is wearing either a blue or green tie instead of the red one. Daiki Kubo is wearing a different undershirt than the usual white button-up. Kiriko Nishizawa has taken off her blazer. She's also wearing a different skirt that is more frilly. Ryota Sameya is wearing a jacket similar to how Makoto wore his. Shoji Yoko is wearing a black t-shirt underneath his blazer. Sosuke Ichino is wearing a jacket around his waist and seemingly has a green tie. Suzuko Kashiki is wearing the girl's uniform minus her blazer. Taro Kurosaki's blazer is open and he does not have a tie. Tomohiko Goryoko has a yellow tie and suspenders, and Tsubasu Kami is wearing the same jacket as Junko. These are all the uniform differences I could actually find. Of course, the uniforms of Hope's Peak have inconsistencies within the first 2 games. For example, in the second game and anime, the girls' bows are red, but in the first game they are black, and their skirts are also seemingly blue, with Asahina and Toko being the outliers, not Chihiro and Sayaka. Also within the second game, we see a CG of Hiyoko, Ibuki, and Mikan. In the CG, we see that Ibuki is wearing the same uniform she does in the anime. However, Mikan and Hiyoko are wearing the standard girls' uniforms with their blazers taken off, with Mikan's bow being blue. And at one point, Mondo wore a white tank top and Chihiro was wearing a white version of the standard uniform. And yes, if you were wondering, I checked Chisa, Kyosuke, and Juzo's uniforms, and they seemingly all to be the standard female and male uniforms respectively. And just like previously mentioned, I do find it a bit odd that the uniforms are different for almost every student. Whether they take off their blazer like Mukuro and Peko to if they have an entirely different outfit like Celeste, it seems as if every uniform is unique to each student, which I think is supposed to represent how all the students might be attending Hope's Peak, but they're all also unique. Like hell, even technically Aoi is wearing a unique uniform, as the other girls in her class have a modified or different outfit, whereas she is wearing just the standard uniform. Other than a couple inconsistencies, the uniforms at Hope's Peak seem to be very simple, with modifications being allowed for those attending the actual Hope's Peak and the student council, with the reserve course students that are not council members not being able to modify the uniforms. Right here, I also want to talk about the uniforms of the reserve course minus the student council. They are almost identical to the actual Hope's Peak uniforms. The 2 women we see wearing them, Sato and Natsumi, are wearing the exact same thing as the Hope's Peak women, except no blazer. And the one dude we see wearing the uniform, Hajime, is wearing an all-black uniform, so these are most likely what the reserve course does actually wear. We, however, do not know the uniforms of the elementary school division or the junior high division, but they're most likely the same brown pants or skirt, brown blazer, and a white button-up shirt underneath the blazer with a red bow or tie. And this section may seem like it's a waste of time, but personally I think it does help us understand Hope's Peak Academy some more to an extent. This is section 3, Enrollment into the Academy. This section also might seem like a waste of time, but personally I think yet again it can help us understand what Hope's Peak Academy is like. Unlike literally every school to ever exist, you do not simply enroll in Hope's Peak Academy. There are 3 known ways to actually get into the school though. They are way number 1, be accepted as the ultimate lucky student, way number 2 is to be scouted out by the talent scout, and way number 3 is to be accepted in through the steering committee. However, options 1 and 3 are the hardest. There are only 4 known people to have made it in through these ways. They are Nagito Komaeda and Makoto Naegi, who are the ultimate lucky students who made it in through way number 1, and Junko Enoshima and Mukuro Ikusaba, who were accepted in through the steering committee. Junko as the ultimate analyst / analytical prowess and the ultimate fashionista / Gyaru, and Mukuro as the ultimate soldier. Every other student that we know of got in through the second way, which is the talent scout. As for the reserve course, their way of entering the reserve course is similar to an actual school where they pay to get in, but the price is super high, which basically reserves it for just the rich. There's also a test that takes place halfway through the year where there are 5 judges. From what we see in the anime through Ruruka Ando, one of the 4 judges is one of the 2 gym teachers. Yes, there's 2 of them, I'll touch upon them later. These 5 judges are basically what keeps you in Hope's Peak Academy, from what we see at least. But if you fuck up as much as Ruruka and Seiko did and accidentally blow up the gym, that results in expulsion, and if you plan to explode the gym, you're put on detention of sorts for the rest of the year, and the homeroom teacher has to teach at the reserve course. This is what happens to Nagito and Chisa. I believe it's 6 months that the student's on detention and the teacher has to go to the reserve course. Although the punishment might vary for what they do. And if you're somehow wondering this, it is explained that the 2 requirements to attend Hope's Peak are you must have attended a high school and you must excel in your area of expertise. That is how you can get scouted out by the steering committee. Actually no, I believe those are the only 2 requirements for the lucky student and the talent scout, as we do know that Mukuro Ikusaba quit going to school when she was a mercenary in Europe, but was still accepted in through the steering committee. So I think maybe the lucky student and steering committee are kind of like, if you didn't, you can still get in that way, but if you want to be scouted by a talent scout, you need to attend high school, and like that you need, but the other 2, you just have to excel in your area. Anyways, let's get on to the next section. Hi, this is section 4, which is potential candidates to go to Hope's Peak. If this section sounds different in recording, it's because I'm redoing this section as like, I just did it very badly the last time and I missed a couple things, so I'm redoing it. Anyways, this section will detail all 5 potential candidates who are accepted into Hope's Peak, or who were / are likely to be accepted to Hope's Peak. They are in order of age / acceptance letters being handed out. Yui Samidar, Natsumi Kazuryu, Komaru Naegi, and Teruteru's younger brother and sister. From what we know, Teruteru's siblings would be the ultimate escorts, male and female respectively. We also know that Natsumi would have been the ultimate Yakuza, however she decided not to join so Fuyuhiko could take her place. It's stated in Danganronpa Kirigiri that Yui was accepted for her ability in jumping, but she turned down the offer as she wanted to continue her career at the detective library investigating dual noir and other cases, and Komaru Naegi is unknown what she would have been sister, at least within the English version of the anime. And other than these 5, the other potential candidates are not known, although just from seeing these, I do believe that the Warriors of Hope along with Lycorn would all be potential candidates, but yet again this is not confirmed, so do not take my word for it. Let's get on to the next section. Hi, this is section 5, which is staff. The staff of Hope's Peak Academy seemingly just sign up for the job, however it seems like alumni of the academy who wish to be staff are prioritized than non-alumni. The staff of Hope's Peak Academy are as follows: Izuru Kamakura, founder, deceased; Kazuo Tengen, former headmaster, deceased; Jin Kirigiri, former headmaster, deceased; Juzo Sakakura, head of security, deceased; Koichi Kizukura, talent scout and homeroom teacher, deceased; Chisa Yukizome, head teacher of class 77B, deceased; unnamed PE teacher, deceased; unnamed PE teacher, unknown. These are the known staff members before the tragedy, and yes, there are actually 2 PE PE teachers, which I found out in this video. Here's the video here, link in the description. The one who is unknown is also seemingly the head of Branch 13 and Future Foundation, which I'll touch upon more when I do Future Foundation deep dive. And of course, for the staff, there are technically also the unnamed security guards, the other teachers, and the steering committee, and technically Kyosuke Munakata was a staff member who was working on building a second Hope's Peak Academy. As for the staff, by the end of the story, they are Makoto Naegi, headmaster, alive, then Kyoko Kirigiri, Byakuya Togami, Aoi Asahina, Toko Fukawa, Kamaru Naegi, and Yasuhiro Hagakure are all alive, and their positions are unknown. Since Makoto is the only one with a known position, and we do not know the jobs of the other 6 staff members, just by what we are given, I suspect that Aoi would be the PE teacher, one of 2, Kamaru being the other PE teacher, Toko would be a homeroom teacher, Byakuya would be either the head of security or assistant to the headmaster type of deal, Kyoko would be a homeroom teacher and talent scout, and possibly head of security. If I didn't mention, I also think that Byakuya would be head of security, maybe, and Yasuhiro would also be a talent scout. Although these are not confirmed and simply my theory on the matter, so do not take this as fact, it is not. Hi y'all, this is the ending now. I don't know why I'm saying hi. I'm recording this like 3 months after I recorded everything else, I think, so sorry if this audio sounds different. I just want to say I hope you like this video, and if any of you are wondering why there isn't really that much like pictures, I think this is just going to be like a solid picture video, kind of like my rant videos is. I kind of plan on Danganronpa Deep Dive to be a series where like you don't physically sit and watch it. It's like you turn it on and then you play Minecraft, or you turn it on and you play The Sims or something like that, because I personally like videos like that, and I really don't like when it's like, oh okay, well now you gotta look at this because this is important to the video. It's more of me just saying like, this is what happens, blah blah blah, turn on a game, something like that, if that makes sense. Like turn on Minecraft, turn on The Sims 4, turn on whatever game you play and do this. Read your fan fiction that you're doing, write your Danganronpa fan fiction or fan fiction in general. Like, this is just kind of supposed to be background noise, so I hope you do like more videos like this, and these will be like low effort edit videos, if that makes sense, where like I'll probably edit the audio to some extent and the music in the background, but the picture is most likely just going to be a solid picture. So yeah, fall asleep to this if you want to. Like, just, this video isn't meant to be like a sit down and watch video. This video is like a sit down, turn it on, and do something else kind of video, but listen to it. And kind of expect that more from my Danganronpa Deep Dive series. Episode 2 should be released kind of soon, just because it's not as long as this one. It's kind of short, just because episode 2 doesn't really have that much material that we can work off of. So, yeah, leave some of your comments or suggestions for what you want me to do deep dives on. I believe I said that I will not do deep dives on specific characters, so like don't expect me to do a Danganronpa Peko Pekoyama deep dive, because I'm not going to do that, because to me that's just a character analysis but with a different name. That's all it really is. So if you want me to do like how Peko could have gotten away with her murder deep dive, or like how the killers relate to this blah blah blah, or Danganronpa deep dive, characters, ideologies, or something like that, I could possibly do that. But if it's narrowed in on one specific character like Pekoyama or Mahiru or Asahina, I'm not gonna do that, because that's just a character analysis. So yeah, and I just want to state this again. If I was to redo any of my character analyses, it would be Mahiru. That's all I'm saying. She was my first video, so I think she would possibly get an update, but that more depends on if I can find the time in my like schedule to do it once I'm done releasing all my other videos, and if anyone would be interested in an updated Mahiru analysis video. Those are really the 3 factors. If 2 of them get matched, if I have enough time and I finish everything, I'll probably make it. If I finish everything and people want it, I'll try and find time, etc, etc. So yeah, I know this is the ending of this video. I'm not really good with endings, if you can't tell. Like I said, leave your ideas. Currently, Hope's Peak Academy cannot be done a deep dive because we just did this one, and the next Danganronpa deep dive episode is Distrust, which has already been pre-recorded, so if you do have a suggestion that I like, expect that one to be episode 3, because episode 2, like I just mentioned, is pre-recorded already, and I'm not gonna push episode 2 back to episode 3 because I already have episode 2 out. Bye.